themselves as the whistle goes. Day 9, and it's Scotland in the light blue heading to your left of screen. Trinidad and Tobago in the red. And Brown, well, an intercept straight off the cuff to Anella Jack. A solid tournament for her. Guerrero in the middle. And there's John Davis. And a nice pick-up for Scotland. Leslie McDonald, 131 caps, the third most capped player at the Netball World Cup. And she's on screen holding the back position, and as you could imagine, setting up this set play, all the experience in the world. That's why the Thistles asked her to come out of retirement. They needed her here in Sydney, and she gets the score on the board for Scotland. Forbes straight into the thick of things, and a good start for Scotland. McDonald again to the post, and she delivers. Fiona Thiemann and Forbes working the ball. There's Gallagher. And a nice hand in from Daystar Swift. Well, a chance. Here's Trinidad. They want to be right in this from the get-go. And Anella Jack, well, she just found Cooper. Options were pretty minimal. And Samantha Wallace finishing at the post. So Cooper, great connection with John Davis. And Trinidad will want to do as much of that as possible today. John Davis hitting the circle edge, not giving the Scottish defenders any chance to set up defensively on Wallace. As I said before, she's popped up 178 goals this tournament at 84.8%. So very impressive for Samantha Wallace. Good ball movement coming from Scotland, as direct as possible down the court. And again, just a nice hand in from Trinidad. So the placement of pass from Scotland in the front end will need to be adjusted. Strong take by Guerrero. Brownie obviously out of play. The contest a little bit awkward. Look away into Wallace. And she finishes up. And I get the feeling that we'll be talking a lot about her in the years to come. So we just wait for Fiona Thiemann to set the play up. Nice movement from McDonald up the middle. Gallagher working the baseline. Good connection between those two. And Gallagher to the post. Well, as we said, it is semi-finals day here, Netball World Cup 2015. Plenty of talk about Australia, New Zealand, Jamaica and England. But for these two sides on court, it's as important. They want to leave here and claim the highest position they possibly can, and for these two sides it will be 9th or 10th position, and they will be playing the winner of this game, will be playing the winner of Samoa and Fiji, the loser obviously respectively playing the loser of that game. So as we mentioned earlier, Trinidad the upper hand when it comes to Netball World Cup meetings. There's Wallace home alone. Good vision from Guerrero. And Trinidad respond. freshest meeting of these two sides was only May this year, and Scotland had the upper hand. So they will have come in to today's game with the greatest of belief. Actually, more likely the greatest of expectation. They will expect to want to dominate this game today. They'll require 60 minutes of hard work. And Trinidad will be doing everything possible to destroy the vision of the Scottish Thistles. As we go goal for goal in this first 5 minutes of play on day 9, Scotland by the 1 goal as Guerrero and Cooper work the middle corridor. Cooper doesn't want to opt for that shot. She moves herself closer. The captain for Trinidad and Tobago, Jaleesa Cooper, they need her on the court for this full 60 minutes. Yeah, good defensive pressure coming from Trinidad, really forcing Scotland to work this ball around. Patience from Scotland. Well, the grubber ball goes in to McDonald, almost rolled, but they get away with it, Scotland. Almost at 3 seconds on Trinidad. Oh, good clash centre of court, Brownie and Guerrero, but Trinidad come up with the ball through Cooper. So a chance here for Scotland to take a early 2-goal lead, and it'll be McDonald working the ball closer to post. And shooting at 75% accuracy this tournament. That won't worry her at all. And early bragging rights here going to Scotland. And again, McDonald sets the screen up for Gallagher on the baseline. And the Thistles, well, they look good. Trinidad needs to respond here. Wallace drives out. Almost the replayed ball. Mulheron trying to do everything on Samantha Wallace. She knows how prolific this shooter has been. 5th in goals scored here throughout the Netball World Cup to date, Samantha Wallace. Here's a go now. And Trinidad just need to be patient through the court. Make sure there's options at the ball. And they've steadied there. Trinidad and Tobago. Oh no, not to allow this scoreline to grow by any stretch. Now Jack, look at the speed.
Offside, central contact.
Beeman can't quite get to that one, but they're forcing the Trinidad side right out from the post. So it's good defensive work early from Trinidad, and Beeman in with a hand while she tries to convince the umpire it wasn't off hers. Oh, quick ball goes in. Samantha Wallace completely caught unawares. And look at the Thistles fly down the middle corridor. Brownie finds Leslie McDonald, and what a passage of play for Scotland. Oh, well, off one of their best passages of play for the tournament. It's a brain explosion for Brownie in the middle, and she uses a centre pass to the goalkeeper. That's what we call school kid error. 6 minutes of play left in this first quarter. 2 goals the difference, but Scotland are pumped. And Trinidad responds. Samantha Wallace a little bit ginger after that last take of the ball. I don't want her to leave the court. She has been so impressive and such a solid target. Still such a raw athlete, but as you keep saying, plenty of promise for her future. The 30 caps, this will be her 31st cap for Samantha Wallace. And Fiona Thiemann calling the injury time as Trinidad just had that moment to turn ball over. So Trinidad and Tobago finishing top of Pool G. They had a pretty tough run on the opening day. They played Australia and went down 73 to 32. They then had to back up on day 2, Trinidad and Tobago, against New Zealand. It didn't get much better and they lost that one. Had to wait till day 3 until they could actually score a win on the board, and it was against Barbados. And they then went into a rest day, followed up with wins against Zambia, Singapore and Samoa. So it's been 3 days straight of wins for Trinidad and Tobago, with the rest day yesterday. Scotland, on the other hand, well, they opened up their Netball World Cup campaign against England with a loss. Day 2 saw a win for them against Samoa. The rest day, day 3, and then it was Jamaica on day 4. And a bit of a hiding, 71 to 24. And then Scotland, a win on the board 2 days in a row after that against Barbados and Sri Lanka. And then in a very close tussle 2 days ago against Fiji. And I think they thought they might have had it, but they ended up fading in the last passage of the game and going down to Fiji by 6 goals. So both sides having rest days yesterday. They would have been all fresh and ready to go today. Fiona Thiemann, she's fine. And Scotland will again head towards their goal end. Oh, McDonald almost open. You could see Rachel Forbes' eyes just light up, but she steadies. And there's some nice vision as Brownie opens up. Oh, great drive, circle top, Moore McGrath. And, well, short pass called there from the umpire. No idea why Gallagher did not to go to post, directly in front. And that's what her team will expect. Have the confidence to look at the post and deliver the ball. Instead, now Trinidad with the opportunity to level the game. So Mulheron can't quite get to Wallace up the middle. And John Davis, well, the 1-2 between John Davis and Wallace. And there's a bit of brilliance from Trinidad. And maybe that injury time, a chance for their coach Gomez to come out and just put them in another gear, Trinidad and Tobago. And almost on cue, they go again. John Davis showing why she's been around the traps of Netball World Cup for so long. Wallace, well, I think she's about to show us why she could be around for some time to come. And Trinidad Tobago, well, they hit the lead for the first time in this quarter, and their centre pass. So how will the Thistles respond? 3.5 minutes left on the clock. Mulheron left to do the work in the circle with Thiemann out of play. And Wallace steadies at the post. Samantha Wallace now shooting 7 from 8. Great quick ball coming in from Brownie. Their vision to the circle's been good early on. They need a lot more of that, Scotland. And they'll be looking for the turnover here, Scotland. Almost a chance. Wallace keeps it in play. And a distinct contact by Brownie. She looks at the umpire as if to say, what do you mean? Well, when you put the knee in the back of a player, that's usually contact. And beautiful work by Samantha Wallace. just so poised at the post. Claire Brownie, Fiona Moore-McGrath trying to work this ball around to hit a circle edge. There's the chance. And McDonald, well, having the defence of Trinidad stepped up here. Swift, Connolly. Well, lack of discipline from Daystar Swift gives Scotland a chance at the post, and you think McDonald just might finish this off, and she does. So Scotland staying within the goal here, but it is Trinidad's centre pass. So better defensive pressure here from Scotland. Forbes working overtime. Misses the drive of Davis to the post. And the offload between Cooper and Wallace, well, that's going to be the pattern of play now. You can just see Cooper's work rate really picking up, forcing Fiona Thiemann to really work on her. It leaves the one-on-one from O'Heron and Wallace. And that's going to work in Trinidad and Tobago's favour for the best part of this game. Just over 1 minute to go. Trinidad now out by 2. They trailed for the best part of this first quarter. Gallagher again finding space on the baseline. And that's better from her. Direct to the post. Confidence. That's what the Scottish Thistles need. Back to 1 goal. So Thiemann just needing to close down Cooper here. She opts to go back on Wallace. The 2-on-1 on Wallace. Oh, almost a chance for Brownie. Plenty of time on the clock. She'll offload. Well, Scotland again caught with their heads down. You get the feeling Del Parada will address that at the quarter-time break. 12 seconds on the clock. They'll look to go long. McDonald holds beautifully. Oh, great score from Scotland. And the whistle goes at the end of the first quarter, and a quick goal from Scotland brings them back to within 1. But Trinidad and Tobago somewhere through that middle quarter finding a bit of energy, and they lead this first quarter 13-12. Well, a game of ebbs and flows already. Day 9, semi-finals. So much at stake for these two sides. Playing off to win today would be a 9th and 10th placing tomorrow. Lose and it's down to 11th and 12th. So plenty on the line for both Scotland and Trinidad and Tobago. But Trinidad and Tobago bragging rights after the first quarter. They lead by a goal over Scotland, 13-12. As we take a look at the stats of the first quarter. And the shooting accuracy looked superb for both sides at 87 and 86%. Scotland solid on the rebound, which is so important to them because they won't get many of those opportunities. The rest, well, it's pretty even. The turnover's looking good. But Trinidad and Tobago leading this game at the moment against Scotland by the 1 goal. Netball World Cup 2015, and we are back here at Netball Central. And Trinidad and Tobago up by 1. And here we go, second quarter action. Trinidad 1 goal up after the first quarter. And some changes coming in for Trinidad. So Guerrero moves from centre into goal defence. And Connolly back to goalkeeper. Daystar Swift goes to the bench, and none other than Trisha Liverpool coming on in the middle for Trinidad and Tobago. And this will be her 97th cap today, Trisha Liverpool in the middle. And no shortage of experience for her, and just the experience on the court for Trinidad and Tobago. So impressive. Scotland, on the other hand, well, they come back out at the second quarter with no changes. And more than content with how things are going for them. They've opened the first quarter strong and finished strong and had a bit of a lull through the middle. So focus, the key in the second quarter, as McDonald goes to the post and pops in her 8 from 9 attempts. So critical that she's here at this tournament. The word is that she is well and truly retired. And Gail Parada just begging the question, could you come back and maybe help us out in the coaching ranks? And all of a sudden pops up in the playing ranks again. So great news for Leslie McDonald as Anella Jack, front position and strong in the air, and drives the ball through court for Trinidad. There's Cooper all alone. Lovely little roll and pop. Good hustle by Mulherron, but she's going to get called for the contact, much to the disgust of the Scottish fans here in the crowd. And Samantha Wallace, well, nothing seems to faze that young lady. She was a cucumber, Samantha Wallace. So Scotland's shown great patience in finding the circle edge. It really does give their goalers in McDonald and Gallagher the chance just to work their mastery inside the circle. Oh, well, no idea where that was going. Brownie had repositioned and Gallagher just threw her hands up into the air. So the chance now for Trinidad just to control early this second quarter, possibly go out to a 3-goal lead through their captain Jaleesa Cooper under the post. And good news for Trinidad. So a nervous time, I'd say, here for Scotland. Well, that's got a get out of jail card, we call that. Critical for Scotland to score this. It's Trinidad's centre pass. Bring this back to 2 goals and their centre pass. Right back in the thick of it early. Moore McGrath, great drive from Brownie and good movement, Scotland. McDonald, well, that's exactly the answer that Scotland needed. Expectation now is to back up on that centre pass. Must convert, Scotland. Well, McDonald really proving to be an absolute master down in that circle. Of course, the change coming from Trinidad and Tobago with Guerrero, good hands by Seaman and Connolly. So Daystar Swift went to the bench for Trinidad and Tobago, obviously concerned that McDonald was unable to be stopped by her. So far, they haven't found an answer, Trinidad. Leslie McDonald.
All time.
At her 4th World Cup, Leslie McDonald. Scotland have been in Singapore. You get the feeling she might have been there as well. It could have been her 5th. What a phenomenal effort that would have been. Cooper. Well, she won't go from anywhere mid to long range because Samantha Wallace is too good a target to offload to. There's the Trinidad bench as they patiently watch to see what their 7 on court can do. And the coach, Mr. Gomez. Good drive from Gallagher. I've been impressed with Scotland's mid-court here, just the way they've worked hard to find the circle edge. They've taken on the drive. Mella Jack frustrated, she couldn't hold on to that one. Gallagher, she's looking, Brownie. There's McDonald, she's open. Well, they opt not to go to McDonald. Gallagher now to the post. Can she pop this in? No, she can't. And frustrated from Gallagher. Only her second miss of the game.
Contact.
No one home for Trinidad and Tobago. Wallace and Jalisa Cooper way outside the circle.
Contact.
Not a great deal of structure on offer at the front here for the Calypso girls. More just the patience of their ball work and trying to get to this circle edge to find that pass into Wallace. And they pretty much know every time that happens, that lady there, 21 years of age, is going to deliver. The effort coming from the Scotland defence here. If they can keep this up, you just wonder whether momentum might just swing their way. A little bit of luck. They're contesting just about every ball. That one being called a contact on Captain Hayley Mulheron. But it's good to see they're in the thick of it, the defenders for Scotland. Just need to stay on the right side of the whistle. Remain disciplined to be in play. No use being out of play all game. So again, you'll just see the patience shown by the mid-court for Scotland, just trying to find the circle edge. Nice open there from Leslie.
Manage offside wing defense.
Well, she'll set up for the post, Leslie. We'll see Gallagher most likely. She's going to step it in. She will. She's going to go to the post. Confidence. And great return. Lindsay Gallagher. Just over halfway through this second quarter. Trinidad just a little easy as they pop this in and keep the scoreline at 4 goals. Scotland is staying within, just need to get some turnover ball, getting some deflections, just can't quite get a clean intercept. Oh, and that's bad news for Moore McGrath and Scotland. It's the contact. And this is where Trinidad have been able to hurt Scotland, just being able to work this ball through court. They get it just about down to the circle edge and it's almost fait accompli. Samantha Wallace, too easy, look at that. And that's where Trinidad and Tobago are really dominating. You wonder the thoughts going through Scotland coaches Gail Parada's head at the moment. How can she contend with this back line with Wallace? Oh, and a great set of hands. Forbes gets in. Oh, and an over the third. Well, look at the frustration. Even I'm shaking my head as a commentator. Just 1%ers so important that Scotland just not capitalising on the moment. And Liverpool, well, just too easy. And that's where the concerns lie for Scotland. Certainly not for Trinidad and Tobago, and almost on cue as the scoreline pops out to 6 goals. It's Brownie in the middle for Scotland that calls the timeout. And it'll just be a moment for composure for Scotland. You can see there Gail Parada just frustrated. As we said, it is semi-final day, and after 8 days of play, the silly errors that are coming into the play of Scotland really should have been eliminated throughout this week. So you can imagine that the words would be quite clear. I get the feeling there could just be an interchange about to take place. You can see the coach just eyeing off the Scottish Thistle players to the right of screen. We can't see, but they are warming up, so maybe a change coming. Trinidad and Tobago, on the other hand, Samantha Wallace, it's all about her, 18 from 20. And Charlisa Cooper contributing just the 4 goals, but it's the work rate of Cooper out the front. Superb setting up Wallace. And as you can see, the bibs coming off and being swapped around. So we'll try and talk you through this. I'd say it's Thiemann back to goalkeeper. I think that's a good move for Scotland. I think she'll get in and contend and contest more on Wallace. Rachel Forbes now moving into goal defence for Scotland. And we'll try and see the other movement here. So Moore McGrath going into the centre. Brownie pops into wing defence. It's the captain Mulherron going to the bench. And young Samantha Murphy comes on to wing attack. So almost wholesale changes for Scotland, and rightly so. 6 goals it's popped out to, but simply no answers for Samantha Wallace, Trinidad and Tobago's spearheading goal shooter. And Murphy comes into the game with a little bit of spunk and spark, and a good result at the board for Scotland. And here's a go. Critical to convert. And the high ball goes in. Moore McGrath, as patient as ever, finds McDonald. And a big deep breath coming from Leslie McDonald. She knows how critically important this period of time is in the scheme of things for Scotland. And offside again. Those frustrating errors creeping into Scotland's play. At the back end of this game, if things don't go to play for them, that will be exactly what they will watch back and go, how annoying. So maybe a little mini win for Thiemann in terms of her ability to push Wallace out, but it doesn't faze Samantha Wallace. She says, I can shoot from anywhere. Doesn't matter, just get me the ball. Super confident, Samantha Wallace. I'm going to get me the ball, please. Come on, give it to me. That'll do. Oh, offload. For the first time in the game. And Jaleesa Cooper there to finish off for Trinidad. So there's some real interest in this second quarter. It's all about how Scotland can respond. And the shooting accuracy again, 89% Trinidad, Scotland sitting at 86. So no issues at the post for either side, although that one not rolling in for Gallagher, and this moment in time could very much hurt Scotland. As Rachel Forbes, well, what an effort at the ball. So Trinidad score right now, and this is big news for them. Samantha Wallace, look at this, turns. Well, you get the feeling that that was about 1 foot beyond her comfortable range. And I'm going to call that a mini victory now for Scotland. I think this move of Thiemann back on Wallace could just work really well in their favour. Critical that the conversion at this end comes into play. And Candice Guerrero trying to convince again the umpire it wasn't off her hand. Great quick ball, but completely no touch on the pass to McDonald. The option was on. And again, the opportunity squanders for Scotland. A good discipline there from Brownie at wing defence. Samantha Wallace, now this is her range, surely. as expected. Yep, happy with that. Ooh. Almost looked a little bit too difficult for Samantha Wallace. So 7 goals now, the lead for Trinidad and Tobago. That is the biggest lead of the game. Scotland with their opportunities. Great quick ball comes in from Murphy, finding McDonald. And it's fascinating passages of play like that for Scotland. And you just wonder why they can't simply connect 2 or 3 of those together. Now, you don't envy that seat of Gail Parada, the coach of Scotland.
Goal defence, Trinidad.
You just wonder whether she's been speaking with the Scottish Thistles all week about what they need to tidy up on and whether or not they've responded to that, as we go into another injury time in this game, and it's been called by the goal defence, Anna Guerrero, but we'll see if we can get in on the huddle of Scotland.
Look in, they double check, send it out. Even those swings, I want it back to the line, go away to pop back to reset again. Okay?
Fantastic effort, girls.
Pull yourselves back into this, be alright. Okay? Can we go start again from our sets?
Yeah.
What, we've got 2 minutes to go?
Yep.
Right. Is that our ball? Yeah, right. Let's do this and then defence.
Yeah, let's go, guys. Alright, remember, trust and belief in each other.
Always on the back of the backup.
So trust and belief, the words coming from Parata.
On this one here, we've both shown a clear option for when Lindsay puts that ball in, okay? If we can be ball side, great. Okay, clear option, use the top if we have to. Alright, let's go.
Just play the 2 minutes, not worry about the end.
Let's go.
So some strong words coming in from Coach Gail Parata about being clear on court and making sure options are there. I mean, that's a critical part of this game. If you have a singular option to the ball, then you're dictating to your opposition that that's where it's going. It's critical to open up a number of options, and that's what she's asking for her Scotland side. As Candice Guerrero stands up and gets back on with play. Well, she's in everything at the moment, Candice Guerrero, and she's got it back of screen, her hands on her face. She's taken an absolute blow to the face, and she's just checking her mouth to see if there's any blood. You'll see there, such a tough character. She's played in the centre for a good part of the tournament, but good enough to be able to move back into goal defence. And has been prepared to put her body on the line for the Calypso girls. But the Scotland team, they stay just within reach. The 5 goals semi-finals, day 9, the second last day of this Netball World Cup. These two sides playing for the right tomorrow to play off the 9th and 10th position. Trinidad and Tobago would expect nothing less than finishing 9th. Scotland, on the other hand, well, they would also like that, but have already improved their world ranking performance from 2007 when they last competed in this environment. A good effort coming from both Jack and Connolly. Just can't keep it in play. Critical for Scotland to score here. McDonald, no one. Where does she go? Almost a held ball. It's over 30 seconds on the clock, so time for a couple of goals. Will one be to Scotland? Yes, it will. Back to 5 goals. Trinidad will want to score here. Scotland must do everything to stop this shot. Must do everything. Oh, and here's a go. You can see Browning looking up at the scoreboard. How long? Plenty of time. She's panicking. 10 seconds. A little plug from Cooper, realises the clock. Can they delay? They're going to find McDonald. They'll have to be quick. 3 seconds. Gallagher, turn and shoot. Oh, and the score line is going to remain at 5 goals as the whistle beats Scotland to the post. And a missed opportunity to bring that back to within 4. There's a bit of a hustle to the end, but it's Trinidad and Tobago leading the second quarter by 5. Well, you could just see the experience there of Jolise Cooper. She realised that Scotland were going to hustle down to that goal line to try and score, and a little mini contact on the side, just delayed the play. The umpire having to call the contact, not realising maybe that they could have just advanced that play. And Trinidad being able to stop Scotland from scoring that last goal. So Trinidad dominating that second quarter, winning it 13-9. As we take a look at the stats for the second quarter, and the shooting accuracy just dropping slightly for Scotland, but still up in the 80s for both sides. The turnovers just started to push out a bit for Scotland, but it's still a pretty exciting game. We've got 30 minutes of netball left to play. Don't go anywhere. Let's see if Scotland can fight back. But at the moment, it's Trinidad by the 5 goals.
All right. Okay, I'm on the lip here, but I'm not hearing any burn.
Welcome back to Netball World Cup 2015 action. Netball Central hosting this clash between Trinidad and Tobago and Scotland, and it's Trinidad and Tobago by the 5 goals going into the half-time break. Scotland, well, plenty of opportunities in the second quarter to rally back, but just throwing it away, their own errors. And they will be more than frustrated, and hopefully that be addressed by their coach Gail Parada at the half-time break. There's the Scottish crowd. Yes. And they have been in fine vocal form throughout the tournament, and certainly hoping that their girls can get up throughout this quarter. No changes being made for the Scotland side coming in off the break, but there is the change for Trinidad and Tobago, and that is that their captain Jaleesa Cooper will move across to wing attack, and Khalifa McCollin comes on at goal attack. And she's shot plenty of goals for them this tournament. She's had her opportunities. She's shooting at 93% accuracy, Collins, 72 from 77. Maybe bad news for Scotland, and that's bad news for Scotland. An early turnover now for Trinidad. And there's Colin with the ball in hand. Cooper now on the wing attack. And the high ball into Wallace. Wasn't the best pass, but she makes the most of it. Samantha Wallace, the revelation for Trinidad and Tobago. And pops in 22 from 24 goals.
That is just wing defense.
Oh, a touch from Brownie at wing defence. Scotland are going to need more of that, and they need to come up with the crumbs. And confusion between the Scottish defenders in Forbes and Thiemann. And good news for Trinidad, they've come out of the blocks firing. Bad news for Scotland, they need to respond, and right now. They do. McDonald. Thank goodness for Leslie McDonald, says the Scottish fans. McCollum using the middle corridor.
Contact wing advantage offside.
And you can see the bodies in the circle. Forbes covering the baseline, Thiemann. And she comes up with it. So a mini win here for Scotland. And now we just have to watch and see what they do with it. There is absolutely no options on through this middle of the court. And Moore McGrath just missing, hanging out wide. They need her in the play. They eventually find Murphy. There she is, but right off the circle edge. And Anella Jack will be called for the contact. So now a chance for Gallagher. Doesn't even sight McDonald at the post. Instead, she says, I can do this all on my own. And she can. So, Lindsay Gallagher, good news. And she needs to get in and amongst it a lot more. Well, could this be a quick second for Gallagher? Yes, it is. Good response from Scotland. And a break here, and a turnover for Scotland here. Wow, wouldn't that keep things really interesting? Oh, almost on cue. Gallagher. What did they give her in the change rooms? High ball goes in, and Connolly, she got a hand in amongst it, but it's going to go to Leslie McDonald. Folks, we're back to 3 goals. So Murphy, great drive and space to the top. Look who it is again. Her name, constant in my mouth, Gallagher. Trinidad and Tobago caught napping coming out of the half-time break. And one thing we know about Trinidad is they'll respond at some stage. It's just when. No problems through this lady.
Goal attack.
Just not phased. Have a look at her. Oh, the help ball call. My goodness. Cooper, can she keep it in play? She can. Brownie comes up with it. Well, Scotland just need to settle here. They have got Trinidad and Tobago all tied up at the moment. Gallagher again goes to the pocket. More McGrath. I'll say it again. Gallagher. Oh my goodness. What a turnaround from Scotland. Here's a chance to level things. Who would have thought you usually take some 15 minutes to bring a 6 or 7 goal deficit back? They've done it in 4 minutes. Extraordinary stuff. Gully's going to have to do it all alone and rebound it. Well, sitting on the edge of the seats are the Scotland cheer squad. McDonald, no one there, eventually finds McDonald on the pop. Oh, it's come short. Oh, well, a moment that could have drawn the game gives Trinidad and Tobago here a chance just to steady the ship.
Voltage contact, wing defense.
Well, the ship will be steadied through their captain, Jolisa Cooper, who I can tell you right now clearly surely does not have an injury. She couldn't get the ball in her hands quick enough to want to allude to the umpire that I am going to call an injury here because, well, haven't Scotland just come out of the blocks? Let's hear what Gal Parada has to say. You think she might be pretty pleased?
Down the front is awesome. Yeah, it's just that's good.
If we reach it, what are we doing until the pass day?
Keep that.
Do you make sure that you stay in the middle and don't go too far? We're trying to protect the middle channel. Alright?
Come on.
Let's go. Let's turn that ball.
Come on. Keep the momentum. Let's go.
Now, there you go. Great words coming from Gal Parada. Stay focused, don't panic. And what was great was the Scottish fans in the background. Well, they're full of voice. They are really starting to get into this. Almost like sitting in an English soccer league game. As the crowd starts to sing along. Plenty more support here at the moment from Scotland fans. Trinidad and Tobago, a scattering of their supporters in the house. And the question that we ask here, what team will come out of this injury time and take the game into their own hands? Can Trinidad use this little pause to try and gain some composure? Scotland, on the other hand, they need to stay right up in fifth gear and keep firing.
Van's going to contact.
Liverpool, Wallace being forced to move. They just allow Wallace to enter the circle right back in. Thiemann probably needs to pick up on that. Oh, she's taken front position, and the contact call will come, and Wallace knows that she nods. So this moment, 9 minutes and 20 seconds left, this could be the passage. If they score here, Scotland, it's their centre pass. They find Murphy at the top of the circle. And the hand on the ball coming from Guerrero. So Gallagher will take the throw in. And a great strong hold. Well, they've just missed the opportunity to find McDonald there. And Trinidad and Tobago defensively just trying to do everything, throwing their body on the line. They know how important this moment is. McDonald back to within one, Scotland, and their centre pass. A second chance now for Scotland. They mucked the first one up to go level. You get the feeling McDonald won't let that happen again, but she does as she steps. Oh my goodness. Another get out of jail card here for Trinidad just to take control and steady down court. Again, Wallace out of the circle. Thiemann, can she hold her out? Oh, here we go. Scotland. Here's Leslie McDonald home alone. They overcook it. Oh no! McDonald slow to find her feet. Well, it was just a rush of blood to the head of the Scotland attack. They're going to get another chance now. I almost need to calm down. Scotland for the 4th time to level this game, and eventually they do through Lindsay Gallagher. And that pleases the Scottish fans. Well, 7 minutes of netball has brought them 7 goals back to be level Scotland. Trinidad have had completely no answers, and they fumble again.
Van goal attack, contact.
Well, Scotland started the game in this fashion, and a brain explosion there for Samantha Murphy. And it's Trinidad now really under the pump, even though the scores are level. You almost feel like they're the ones in chase mode. McCollum goes high to Wallace. And that's the first moment of play in about 6 minutes that's seen Trinidad do something half decent. And Jolisa Cooper, their captain, after that shot was scored, just screamed out to her team, "Come on! What are you doing? Respond!"
Goalkeeper.
Well, we continue to mention how much is at stake in this game. Trinidad and Tobago would have been filthy not to have finished in the top 8, and desperate to ensure that if they win today, they give themselves the chance to play off for 9th position tomorrow. Scotland, on the other hand, they beat Trinidad and Tobago by 2 goals back in May. They've already improved their last Netball World ranking position, so tomorrow is a bonus to them either way. But they will not be happy unless they win here today, as Samantha Wallace goes to the post for number 25 for the Calypso girls. And we are goal for goal here. Day 9. And after 9 days of exhausting play, these two sides now are expected to come out and deliver their best. And you get the feeling that Lindsay Gallagher is delivering her best. So 5 minutes left. Trinidad were up by a goal at quarter time. They led by 5 at half time. And early in the 3rd quarter took another 2 goals to go up by 7. But the fight back from the Scottish Thistles has been nothing but phenomenal. As we go for another injury time, Maura McGrath indicating to the umpire that she was having some breathing issues. And I would almost say that there was some real sincerity in that injury time.
All right, Rach, go back.
See if we can hear in.
Hayley's coming to GD. GD, Hayley.
Right, still got the momentum, guys. We might just need to grind it out for the next 4 minutes and then push it down at next time.
Right, 30 seconds, let's go.
So some definite changes happening for Scotland. Oh, and I'm watching defensively. Nothing. Oh, they're changing Forbes back out to the wing defence, bringing Mulheron on to goal defence. Pleased to see Thiemann staying back at keeper and taking on Wallace. I think she's been tremendous back there. Mulheron given the job now back on, and Brownie, the captain, sorry, the vice-captain, moves in to centre, and she was definitely far better in there for the first half of the game. So this could be a good move for Scotland. And Maura McGrath goes to the bench, and she was having some real trouble breathing when she called that injury time. So a legitimate one for her. And we are still level pegging. Such an important part, the last 5 minutes of any quarter. It's usually where one team shows their dominance through experience and tends to break the scoreline out a little bit. So watch with interest, folks. Which of these two sides is going to put their hand up, or will we hit the three-quarter time mark? Almost level pegging. And the short pass being called. Oh, gee, tough call, but anyhow, we get on with it. And Scotland straight down the court. Oh, great little footwork and roll of the ball between Brownie and Lindsay Gallagher. And she is a star at the moment, Lindsay Gallagher. And Scotland hit the front. It's been almost a half of netball since we've seen that happen. And another high ball in. McDonald just not strong enough. Trinidad now must respond. Guerrero finds Liverpool. Again, they opt the high ball to Wallace. She's right within shooting range, but she doesn't want to go to post. Well, McCollum will be left with the duties, and no problems for her. It is only her second goal of the game, and you wonder whether that change for Trinidad and Tobago have really paid off. Cooper, nowhere near as dominant on the wing attack. And she replaced their most experienced player in John Davis. And Fiona Seaman, well, again, proving why goalkeeper has suited her perfectly today. And you've got to give the nod to Gail Parada, their coach. Some critical coaching decisions being made. She is under as much pressure as these players. And so far, her players have rewarded her with the changes. And Scotland now with the centre pass, with the 1-goal lead. Oh, well, the long ball looked like it was on. Murphy couldn't execute it properly. Just over 2 minutes of play left. And Leslie McDonald is going to call injury time, and she's going to have to leave the court immediately. It is the second injury time. And Gemma Soul knew exactly that that was going to happen. She was ready to come on in a flash. And Gemma Soul comes on. Well, she's shot most of the goals for Scotland in this tournament, but her accuracy has been the concern. So, will it work for Gail Parada? Vic has worked for Trinidad and Tobago, and right when it's absolutely critical, Samantha Wallace has a bit of a lapse at the post. So Scotland now through Gallagher with a chance to go out to 2-goal lead after trailing by 7 goals early on in this quarter, and they do. Absolutely phenomenal stuff coming from the Scottish Thistles. And it's the Caribbean side now, completely under the pump. Well, they are falling apart at this front end. Oh, and Scotland fall apart then. What a game we've got on our hands. And you always expect things to get nice and tight come semi-finals time. And the plot of this one playing out almost as we expected. Complete heart on the line from both sides. Only 34 seconds left on the clock. And the umpire here trying to indicate to Tricia Liverpool, you contacted, get out of play and stop delaying time. Gee, this is going to hurt Trinidad going into three-quarter time if Scotland score here. So much time on the clock. You wonder whether they're going to rush this or realise there's plenty. 16 seconds. Brownie pops to Sol. She's been at 68% for the tournament. Oh, and just squeezes that one in. And Scotland now out to a 4-goal lead. And Trinidad are also going to squander the centre pass as the whistle goes. Well, the Scottish bench, they are up and about. Look at them. So thrilling. What a quarter it's been for Scotland. It's all about them going into the last quarter. 4 seconds they lead Trinidad and Tobago. Extraordinary third quarter performance from Scotland. Trinidad and Tobago, gee, what contrasting benches we have here at the moment. Absolutely no energy in the Trinidad and Tobago bench. On the other hand, Scotland, as Leslie McDonald stretches out her bat, she's hit the ground a couple of times. Well, they are thrilled, and Gail Parada's shoulders are up and about as we take a look at the three-quarter time stats. And there's not a great deal of difference in it, but there was earlier on. And what that now speaks is that Scotland have done everything to get back within this. And as you can see, they've had 43 attempts to Trinidad's 38. So don't go anywhere. We are in with an absolutely phenomenal last quarter as Scotland lead Trinidad and Tobago. Action-packed netball happening here, Netball World Cup 2015, and what an amazing third quarter. Saw Scotland completely stranglehold Trinidad in the third quarter. They won the third quarter 16-7 as we now get underway. The final quarter for this semi-final clash between these two sides. And the changes being rung in for Trinidad and Tobago as expected. Daystar Swift comes on to goalkeeper. And Jaleesa Cooper, the captain, moves back to goal attack. And they bring back their experienced player, Rhonda John Davis, playing her 155th cap today. She went to the bench after the half-time, and you had to beg the question on why. And Guerrero now moves back into centre. So they're back to their traditional line, which won them the first quarter 13-12, and they respond immediately out of the break to Trinidad and Tobago. Just an extraordinary third quarter from Scotland. Fiona Thiemann, goalkeeper. Well, they moved her back to goalkeeper at the end of the first, and since then she's had 2 rebounds, 2 intercepts, 3 deflections, and only the 6 penalties to her name. Phenomenal stuff from her. So Trinidad and Tobago are the ones that must rise to the occasion early. However, the pressure will still be on Scotland. They probably didn't even want that third quarter to finish. They could have gone another 5 or 10 minutes on the energy that they had found. So the pressure here, defensively, Trinidad, Connolly and Swift. But eventually, Brown finds Gemma Sol. And Leslie McDonald goes to the bench, and Gemma Sol expected now to anchor the Scottish Thistles home. Great ball, John Davis. Well, I'm going to say it again. If Trinidad fall away at the end of this game, Wesley Gomez is going to sit back and wonder why he benched his most experienced player in Rhonda John Davis at wing attack. She just fed that ball long brilliantly. Scotland by 3. And Vice Captain Brownie, she's been really solid for Scotland today. She popped into wing defence for a moment. She's back where I think she plays best, in the middle.
Obstruction centre.
And Samantha Wallace, 30 from 34 for her. Well, it's Scotland by 2.
Vantage obstruction, goal
With ball in hand. Sol holding strong. Swift contact.
Goalkeeper.
Lindsay Gallagher, the star of the third quarter, offloads to Sol. And Gemma Sol pops in. 3 from 3, as I mentioned earlier. Gemma Sol shooting 100 from 146 before coming into this game at 68.5%. And we wondered whether maybe she was on the bench with accuracy, a bit of concern. Leslie McDonald bringing a bit of experience to the front end for Scotland. And Samantha Wallace again, that back space. Trinidad and Tobago. There's Trisha Liverpool just wooing her players on.
Vantage obstruction, wing attack.
And it's only a turnover here for Trinidad. Can they find ball?
Vantage contact, goal
Oh, they
attack.
can. Another Jack.
Vantage obstruction.
So critical now.
Holding keeper penalty.
Cooper. Well, the contact's been called on Thiemann, so they won't have to worry about finding their way to the circle. It's done for them. And here now, Trinidad. They're driving the vehicle through this final quarter. Scotland now the passengers. Now Wallace just happens to pull in the scraps of that pass. And things starting to get really hectic down in that goal circle. They go high. And Mulherron again, the captain, as Wesley Gomez, the coach of Trinidad, looks on. His team now back to level pegging. Five minutes already down in this final quarter. And Trinidad have come out of three-quarter time and are taking control. And there's more control coming from Candice Guerrero. So the question now goes to Scotland. How are they going to respond? They need to get hand on ball. Trinidad now composed through John Davis. And just has such a brilliant connection with Wallace. That's what went missing through the third quarter. And you just wonder, with the changes, you get the feeling Trinidad might even just see this game home. I'm going to call it early. Wesley Gomez. Maybe he had this up his sleeve from the get-go. Let's keep things interesting on day 9.
Obstruction centre, centre third. Goal defence, Lini. Penalty.
And the contact coming on, the captain Mulherron.
Inside.
And that matchup just not going as planned, I think, for Parata. Cooper, the dominant one. And that combination, well, Wallace was almost out of court there, so she opts to offload. And they go high when they're in trouble. That's what they do. John Davis, Wallace, mid-range, and delivers. So a bit of energy now coming from Trinidad and Tobago's bench. And they've gone out to a 2-goal lead. And now Scotland completely under the pump.
Vantage centre offside.
Well, Sol finds brilliant space at the back. Brownie with the vision sights her. And they keep within 1. just need to find the opportunity here to turn the ball over. There's a chance, Mulherron, and she's going to get called on the contact. Just needed to adjust her angle. She was well within reach. She took on the body instead of the ball. And you can see there just at the bottom of the screen, Connolly and Anella Jack really starting to try and gear up their teammates. We saw their heads just drop Trinidad and Tobago through that third quarter. They couldn't find an answer to the Scottish Thistles. But they've come out into this last quarter and are really putting their foot down. So a beautiful drive to front space from Gallagher. She's going to have to sort this one herself, and it rolls out. Oh, this could be a nervous time for Scotland. Oh, good first ball contest, Rachel Forbes. And she's going to get called for the contact. They need more of that, though. They need to be in the contest, Scotland. And Brownie can't quite get there, so John Davis works with Cooper. Off the circle, steps in, Wallace. They'll go high to Wallace. She can't be beaten in the air, Samantha Wallace. But she's beaten at the post. So a moment here for Scotland. 6.5 minutes left on the clock, but this is a critical score.
Contact.
Daystar Swift contests from behind. Gallagher missed the last one. Can she deliver here? Oh, she can. Scotland, they stay within reach. Well, she's applied hands over pressure for the best part of the game, and eventually she's rewarded. Every moment critical, every ball must find a Scottish pair of hands cleanly. Brownie goes long to Gallagher, and she fumbles.
Goal attack.
Gail Parada licks the lips. Well within this, she's trying to push her players defensively here to find a turnover. Trinidad just playing a possession game through the middle. Guerrero, great elevation. John Davis, she'll go long here, she'll look. She'll sight Wallace. Wallace is nowhere on offer. And Fiona Seaman just starting to show a little bit of lack of discipline here. And for that lack of discipline, the umpire has progressed the shot forward. So you don't win games of netball being undisciplined. So 2 goals the difference.
Contact.
And the weight of the world on the shoulders here of Lindsay Gallagher. And she has responded. Absolute hands open, clapping the air. She desperately wants this. She's had a phenomenal game for Scotland, has Lindsay Gallagher at goal attack. And Seaman plays front position and is rewarded. So Scotland now a chance to level the score. Trinidad must respond defensively. Mulherron, the captain. Murphy needs to close to the circle edge. There's Brownie. They swing to the top and find Murphy. Sol wanting that early pass. They find Gallagher. Number 21 for Gallagher, and it drops in. Scotland back to level. And it's Scotland now with the ball in hand. They go long. Ambitious from Murphy. Lucky to come up with the throw-in So after Trinidad and Tobago dominating this quarter early, Gallagher, can she put them in front?
Scotland.
Oh, she can't. But they do get the rebound again. Dale Pirana demanding from Scotland.
Offside centre.
Offside the call. Just over 3 minutes left. The score is level.
When contact.
And of course,
Goalkeeper
come
contact,
semi-finals
half shot.
day, I'll remind everyone we play to a result. So, if by
Instruction.
chance we come to level at the end of this, we will play on. Lindsay Gallagher, however, she won't want that to be the case. Extraordinary from her, 23 from 28. Great response there from Trinidad and Tobago. So every ball just critical here. Scotland, what can they do? And free second call. Well, goodness gracious, I'd have given that 2.5. But the whistle goes.
Goal attack obstruction. Riley's ring defence.
Oh, great hands from Sol. Oh, you can just feel the pressure on the players on court here. Oh, and Connolly overcooks it. So Scotland forwards, nowhere to go. 2 minutes on the clock, plenty of time. High ball into Sol from Murphy. And Gemma Sol, who came onto this game shooting at 68.5% accuracy, has not missed a goal this game. Scotland lead by 1 goal, 1 minute 40 left on the clock. Trinidad under the pump right now, must respond with goal.
Hold defence. Hold defence.
Samantha Wallace, she's missed 5. She's popped every one of these in from this range. And she continues. Scotland. Who will falter first?
Riley centre obstruction.
1 minute on the clock. Beautiful roll and open from Sol. Well, Gemma Sol, the revelation as she's come onto the court. Al Pirata screaming. Scotland defend. Trinidad screaming attack. High ball, Wallace. We're still level. 43 seconds, plenty of time. Absolutely critical. Scotland cannot afford to lose the ball here. Continue to drive forward. Good approach to the post. 25 seconds on the clock.
Obstruction.
Oh, Gallagher give it. Oh, and she stepped. Oh, no. So, umpire calling time. Only 16 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time for Trinidad to score. Daystar Swift in complete confusion. The scores are level. Are we going into extra time? 11 seconds. The defence from Scotland extraordinary. They must go down court, Trinidad. John Davis looks long. Cooper. Wallace out of the circle. The clock's going to beat them. Ladies and gentlemen, we are into extra time. Well, what a result. My goodness, Trinidad and Tobago head to the bench. Scotland, probably lucky just to get out of jail there at the end. 47 apiece. So we'll bring you up to speed. Both sides now required to go into extra time. They'll play 2 7-minute halves. And at the end of that, if there is no result, we go into double extra time where one side would need to win by 2 goals. A 2-goal advantage. Goodness gracious, you get to day 9 when there is absolutely no energy left in the legs and they're now expected to rock another 14 minutes of netball. What an extraordinary game. A phenomenal finish to that game for both sides. Wesley Gomez there having a chat with his players as we take a look at the stats for that final quarter of play. And just the 2 attempts, the difference, accuracy right up there for Trinidad and Tobago. Scotland solid at rebounding, 3 over the 1. And the turnovers, well, quite steady between these two sides. Can you believe it? We're into extra time here on day 9. Okay, so if you've just joined us, you shouldn't have. We've got a draw on our hands. Day 9, these two sides playing off for a place tomorrow in what they call their final, playing off the 9th and 10th position. Trinidad and Tobago led the first quarter by a goal, 13-12. And at halftime, they were up by the 5. They took it out to a 7-goal lead early in the third quarter, and then Scotland absolutely crucified them, winning the third quarter 16-7. Trinidad had to find an answer in the 4th, and they did. They came back winning the last quarter 14-10. With 10 seconds left on the clock, could not get the ball down court with the game level. So we go into extra time, and Trinidad and Tobago's to the right of the screen through Samantha Wallace. 7 minutes of play, and then the teams will swap ends and go to their second 7 minutes of play. And the crowd starting to move in here because they've realised that this game has gone into extra time. And Lindsay Gallagher continues her dominance for Scotland. No changes being made for either side. And you never know what's going to happen in these extra times, whether the energy goes out of one side and another side dominates, or we end up having to carry this game into a double extra time where one side will play to a 2-goal advantage. And another contact call, offensive contact call coming on Jaleesa Cooper. Absolute kudos to Fiona Thiemann today, goalkeeper for Scotland. She has well and truly kept them in this, as has this lady, Lindsay Gallagher. And such confidence. Took her a little while to warm up in this game, and eventually she has just taken control of this front end for Scotland. So Murphy and Brownie working the outside of the circle. Gallagher and Gemma Sol. Well, a great fourth quarter story for Gemma Sol. She shot 6 from 6 after coming in at 68% accuracy for the tournament. And what a game to come in and deliver 100% accuracy as the Scotland bench throw their arms up in the air. They're out to a 2-goal lead early in this extra time.
Step back to me.
It'll be 7 minutes, and then we swap over for another 7 minutes. Neither side can afford to allow any break in momentum. Complete focus required from both sides. Turnover ball here will really hurt. And Scotland, again, that's their go-to girl. What would they have done without this lady today, Lindsay Gallagher? Can't rebound. Smallest player in the circle comes up with the rebound and eventually just rolls the ball in. Lindsay Gallagher, 28 goals. Oh, great take from Manella Jack. And John Davis continues vision straight to the post to find Wallace. And Jaleesa Cooper has struggled at the post in terms of volume. Certainly not in terms of accuracy. 6 from 7 for her. Well, a chance now for Trinidad. A little win here. They can convert this back to level with their centre pass. There's Trisha Liverpool up on her feet.
Vantage contact with
Guerrero, great space. Wallace, nice and easy under the post, level. Well, that's the most amount of energy and animation we've seen from coach of Trinidad and Tobago, Wesley Gomez, all week. He really gets how important this is. As we've said, Trinidad and Tobago will not want to finish any worse than 9th position and must win today to do that. Just under 3 minutes left on the clock. It's 47 all. We had to go into extra time. This is the first of extra time. 7 minutes. And a great front position and take from Anella Jack. The contact will be called on Brownie. And can Trinidad and Tobago hit the front? Wallace out of the circle. John Davis. Well, starting to get a little bit untidy. Of course, these bodies are absolutely exhausted. We are day 9 with 1 day left of this Netball World Cup. And these two sides being asked to go into extra time. And loose ball. Well, Guerrero with the speed to the ball. Scotland will end up with ball in hand. There's Sol holding the back space, but the eyes immediately fall to Gallagher. The confidence in Lindsay Gallagher from the Scottish team. Extraordinary. Again, Samantha Wallace. Well, she's just having to come out of the circle. Fiona Thiemann really working Samantha Wallace and forcing her to make movement outside the circle. The defence end through Forbes and Mulherron also doing their work. And Scotland now a chance to break Trinidad's centre pass, get one up on the scoreboard, maybe come back and with their centre pass go 2 ahead. So Murphy, up on 1 foot. Brownie and Gallagher, as she has been, in front position for the best part of this game. And Connolly just diving on the ball.
Outside. Outside the circle, goal defence, outside.
But it'll be Scotland's ball as Murphy just inquires where that will be taken. Gemma Sol, can she deliver this one? Oh, and she falls short, Gemma Sol. That's her first miss since joining the court. You just hope that doesn't play into the head and she starts to get all worried, Gemma Sol. Trinidad and Tobago, on the other hand, well, we've been playing this centre pass for at least 2 minutes now, neither side being able to score. Under 30 seconds left on the court in this first extra time. Critical for Samantha Wallace. Oh, well, she's rolled ankle there. No time to stop. And Trinidad go to 1 goal up. 12 seconds on the clock, so Scotland going to have to score quickly here. Murphy goes long, there's Brownie, great drive. Gallagher's going to have to go to post. 5 seconds. Oh, falls short. Could that be an absolutely critical miss for Scotland? It's extra time 1. Connolly falls to her knees, thinking the game's over, and just got told there's another 7 minutes to play. So there'll be a 1 minute break for both of these sides, and they'll come out for the second of the extra time. 7 minutes left to play on the clock. And if the scores are still level, we'll go into double extra time as we listen in on the Scotland huddle.
All right, last 7 minutes, it's all right. Both of you have got to stay on 2 feet. Don't get into those old habits again. 2 feet, look, not on, send it back and cut. Let's go. Back on court. 7 minutes to go.
Well, what absolutely choice words coming from Gal Carrada. Don't get into old habits. Well, we wonder what those old habits might be. Running away from the ball, lacking options, throwing unnecessary ball away, and doing the school kid errors. They can't afford to come into this last 7 minutes for Scotland. Trinidad and Tobago, on the other hand, Well, one of their players just realised there was an extra 7 minutes to play. This lady with the ball in her hand, Connolly, fell to her knees at the end of that thinking they'd won by a goal.
Contact, ring attack penalty.
So day 9 Netball World Cup action, pointy end of the championship, and the pointy end of this game in Scotland. An early win there, a turnover ball, and critical for them to convert early. Thiemann just calling her players forward. Only the one option coming from the ball. The players are exhausted, absolutely exhausted. Brownie, she's run centre for the best part of the game.
Brownie's trying to contact.
Who would have thought an extra 14 minutes of play required? Oh, well, in and out of the hands of Daystar Swift. And you can just see the errors creeping in. Mental fatigue setting in, physical fatigue already here. And a 2-on-1 opportunity. And Connolly causing the contact from behind. So Gallagher, she's missed at the post the last one. She returns good though. And we're back to level. Second extra time, 7 minutes to play on the clock. We're now down to 5.5 minutes.
Brownie's contact, wing attack.
And there will be no buzzer at the end of this 7 minutes. If the scores are level, we will continue to play until one side has a 2-goal lead.
Brownie's centre contact.
On through the hands of Gallagher. And she just rolls her head. Well, she needs to get right back in play defensively, as hard as that might sound. And obstruction on Brownie, so Guerrero will make her way down court, receive this, sight Wallace. Instead they go John Davis in the pocket.
Goalkeeper.
And Jaleesa Cooper just trying to open up that space in the circle because Wallace is the go-to girl, shooting 45 from 50. This will be her 46th for the match. And she has just been so good for Trinidad forward. Oh, through the hands of Cooper. And Mulherron first to ball, claims the umpire. And so Forbes takes it. Confusion between Mulherron and Forbes. And you can almost see here the Scotland players so exhausted that they're just standing still.
Goalkeeper contact.
Oh, and contact being called on Gemma Sol. Well, controversially, Trinidad come up with the ball.
Contact, wing attack.
And you can just see frustration on Gemma Sol there, but she'll get straight back into the play. Trinidad, 1 goal up. This so critical for Trinidad. Score here, they go to a 2-goal lead. Second extra time. Oh, and that'll be almost a replay ball. Samantha Wallace won't go mid-range, and you've never seen so many bodies fall on a netball court as we're watching right now. So Cooper can't find Wallace. They keep looking for Wallace long, and they've completely overcooked that one. And Guerrero keeping them. The players are nothing but exhausted here. Oh, so crucial for Scotland at the post. She settles, breathes, and Lindsay Gallagher, the absolute star of the show, pops in and levels for Scotland. As the umpire just blows the whistle to stall the time clock. And it is now Scotland's centre pass. And they just take a little stranglehold on the momentum here through Brownie.
Contact, wing defence.
And John Davis jumping out of court.
Throw in. Throw in.
Well, there's almost hardly any movement, attack or defence. Brownie, she must just be absolutely spent.
Scotland.
These players can't even stay on their feet. Murphy finds the ground. You're going to watch one side completely fall over with joy, the other with absolute devastation at the end of this game. And the commentator fall off her chair, exhausted. Scores a level. Scotland, a chance to go in front, they can't, and Daystar Swift, who was brought onto the court back after the first quarter, height advantage, comes up with the rebound. Trinidad, there's John Davis, 155 caps from her today. Well, Samantha Wallace, all too familiar front position, and Trinidad and Tobago, well, could that just be the moment? They were 1 goal out, and their centre pass. Jolise Cooper now on the floor. How is Scotland going to respond, and can Trinidad remain with possession? Thiemann, well, she knew how important that moment was. She just timed it incorrectly. And you get the feeling here that Trinidad should be able to take a 2-goal lead through Samantha Wallace. And they do. So, explaining the obvious, Scotland have to score here, and luckily through a replay ball, they get the ball back. Plenty of time on the clock. Must go in, and it does. 1 goal in it. Scotland have to turn ball over here. Otherwise, you're going to call this as Trinidad's game. If Trinidad score here, we are done and dusted, folks. Oh, my goodness. Contact. Fiona Thiemann working on Samantha Wallace. You know this ball's going to go high to Wallace. What can Thiemann do? John Davis, she'll sight Wallace. Mulherron now covering Wallace, and eventually Trinidad will get the option in the 2-on-1. And this is going to be for the game, folks. Trinidad and Tobago drop the ball in. They are a 2-goal lead with 14 seconds on the clock. All too late for Scotland. And what a historic game this has been. Trinidad and Tobago were almost done and dusted in the third quarter. At the end of full time, we were 47 apiece, forced to go into extra time. And at the end of full time, as the whistle sounds, Zone 9 Netball World Cup. Watch this, folks. Trinidad and Tobago eventually get across the line just by the 1 goal ahead of Scotland, and your heart goes to Scotland. They were tremendous today.